everyone. I know the camera's a little shaky. Sorry about that. Trying to adjust it. Okay. This is Vanessa. I'm an ACE certified personal trainer. And this is part 2 on the demonstrating the strong and sweaty modifications. And the ones that are below the line. And on this page are the exercises I'll be showing modifications for. The main purpose for this is to show those that may not be able to do the exercises the way that the instructor demonstrates, or even if there's a modifier, they still may need the exercise modified further. And so that's why I am doing this. Notice I don't have any commercials, any ads on mine. It frustrates me when when people put ads on there. So I'm like, yeah, I understand that you get a little bit of money, but it frustrates the viewer. So that's why I don't do ads on mine. People have tried to contact me and say, hey, let's put some ads. I'm like, no, I don't want ads on there. I want the viewer to be able to see the quality video without interruptions. And so, yeah, I refuse to have ads on mine. This is a public service, and if people don't like it, they don't have to watch, they don't have to subscribe. They can go do their own thing. I don't care. The first exercise I will demonstrate in the Strong and Sweaty series in this part is low impact butt kicks. Now, this is the same exercise as what you would see later in the same workout, because there's the low impact butt kicks and then there's the butt kicks. And so the low impact butt kicks, when they're like jumping and then going a little bit airborne, this is what I do. I keep everything grounded. I put a tiny lift on it, but just a tiny, tiny little lift. That's it. And in fact, sometimes I don't even use the weights when I'm doing the low impact, because it can take away from me. It can take away from the work that I'm doing, the focus that I'm trying to put into that exercise for that particular moment in time. Touchdown jacks. Sometimes I use weights, sometimes I don't. Today I'm not going to worry about it. So touchdown jacks. I start feet not narrow, but kind of hip distance. And I come down like this. And like that. It reminds me of a very slow version of line taps, where you do this. Line taps, which I hate. And so it reminds me of a very slow version of line taps. Front swing tree pose. I'm not going to use weight on this one. I tend to not use it, or if I use weight, it's maybe a 3-pound dumbbell or even 2 pounds. I've gone as light as using a 1-pound dumbbell on this one. And so with it, I don't bring the leg all the way up and do this the way that she does, or like this. The way that I do it is, and I mimic the move, down like this, and then as I bring the weight up, I tap the foot down. And so I do it that way. I still get the same work done. The arms and legs are all moving, but I'm taking this out, the lifting of the knee out, of the leg out, because I don't always have the balance that is required for doing that particular exercise. Wide squat thrust burpee crisscross jack modification. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Wide squat thrust burpee crisscross jack. Okay. I think I remember how to do this one. Okay. step. I don't use the tower because these partitions, they get in the way. And when I do it, I tend to do this as opposed to the crisscross jack that they do, like this. Yeah, I can't do that crisscross jack, so I go into a wide burpee, but I don't jump back. I step out, in, and then I do this. I step out, in, and then do that. That's what I do. Now you can do this out, in, but they do it rather quickly, and so I find it's easier to put one foot out, or one leg out, and then on the other one put the other leg out, and do it that way. It stays more in the rhythm of what they're doing, and so it's less likely that you're going to be left behind when they move on to the next exercise. Okay. Traveling power scissor modification. I may have shown that before. So I'll show the traveling power scissor, and then I'll show the power scissor, just in case I didn't show it on the previous video. So the traveling power scissor, the way that she does this little scissor going across, and then a giant scissor coming back. And on the modification, she shows this hip twist going across, and then something else coming back. But this is what I do. I do this little hip twist, and then I do this. That way. Or I'll do this. So I'll do this front, back, back, front, back, or however it is. I think I messed a few of them up. And then when I am coming back with the power scissors, I do this on the power scissors. On the traveling power scissors. Now on the power scissors, that exercise, it's doing this. That. Basically a front and back lunge sped up. Spiderman. I think I've shown this on another video, but I'll show it again. So Spiderman, if you can do this, great. Take the foot out and out, and out, and out. Now, if that's too advanced for you and you still just want to do this, this may be a little more difficult, but it works a lot on the hip flexors, and so you come out like this, and tap the foot like that. I like to do it on the tower. Because it helps to engage the core while you're in a plank, but you don't have to be on the floor. So yeah, I tap the bar on the side, or you can go to the outside and tap the floor. Or if you're looking for a challenge, bring it up, knee out to the side, as such. That's how I modify it. Now, see, squat thrust. Okay. Now it's a squat thrust and then jump over, and then you do a little jump. I typically would do it with these two steps, this step here, and that step in alignment so that I always have a step handy. So, let me show with that modification. Okay, let me move the stability ball out of the way so you can see it. Okay, now I'm going to show the modification. So it's a squat thrust, So I take this leg out, in, over, and then hop. But I don't do a hop, I little lift on the toes. Now the other leg is going to go out and in, hop over, and jump. And I just keep doing that. Until she either calls time or moves on to another exercise or whatever the case may be. Yeah, if you heard the buzzing, it's my dryer saying, hey, your clothes are dried. I'm trying to multitask today. I have a day off from my work at Massage Envy. And so I try to do these tutorials on my days off, so that during the week I can try to upload a video a day or something, and so that you guys can view them and enjoy them during the week. Okay. Now, for the next one. Alright, good time. Lateral hops, jump front, jump back. This one I remember, I like it a lot. Okay. And so, it's lateral, lateral, front, back. Now the way I tend to do it is I lead with the leg that I know I'm going to have to go that direction. So instead of doing this leg, I go this leg, and then come back. That way this toe taps, and then I can lead with that leg. This toe taps, tap, and then I lead with that one. Dyslexic brain in action, I guess. And there you have it. That's what I do when she does those lateral hops. Doesn't matter if it's 2, 3, 5, 15. That's the way that I do it. Is I do the hopping forward, stepping forward, stepping back, and then the hops to the side. That's what I do. Okay. Long jump, straddle jump, modification. Okay, I remember this one. She has a mat going long, and the way that she does it, I'm going to back myself all the way up here. And so, I lead with the outside leg, because I know in the middle I'm going to lead with this leg. And so, instead of jumping, I take a giant step forward and then march it back. I take a giant step forward, got to use that core. Giant step. And then I move over a little bit, lead with this leg. V, step, wide V, wide V. And I'm not going to try to go into a wide squat here. Just bend the knees a little bit. And then coming over here. And now I'm going to start on this outside leg. Yeah, it's a little tired, but you had the outside leg on the other side, so it's like creating this box type shape in my mind. But when we go back, it's going to be this other leg doing the wide V. I almost did the wide V there. But this is what I do. Over here, this leg, wide. Go wide. And that's the way that I do it. Now showing you a few repetitions so that you understood, but showing you a side view, it's doing this, and then walking back, and then coming over, wide, and here, and then up, here, and then the outside leg, because we used the other leg, the previous wide V. So you want to make them even. Like I said, that's what Kathy does in the video. Okay. Squat thrust to plank jack modification. Okay. And you can use a step over here. Where'd the step go? Where did the step go? You can use a step. I'll show you both. Step and fit tower. So, squat thrust, 2 plank jacks. So squat thrust, 2 plank jacks. And then commit. Alright, now I'm going to show you on the step. Squat thrust. Same thing, only the step is lower, so it's more challenging on the body. Same move. Squat off the end. Now, if you cannot squat off the end of a step, I think this exercise is from PHA training, I think. If you have a hard time stepping off of a step with the knee, then pretend you're on a step, dumbbell in the hand, and do a squat, like that. Stepping off squat. The leg that's on the step would get worked more aggressively because it is on the step. But you will still get work in both glutes doing it that way on the floor. But using that modification, it's better to do the modification than to not do the exercise at all. That's what I think. Alright, step ups. Even I use a step on this one. I'm going to use the smallest, shortest step I can. So with the step ups, if my knees are not permitting it, like today, they're a little wonky, I use a short step. On the days that it's good, not great, but good, I use the 8-inch step. Today I'm using the 6-inch. Weight in the heel, dumbbell in the hand, or in the hands. And it's similar to the one I taught you when I did the hardcore series with the gym style legs, with the leg press, and I had the band here. It's the similar concept. It's the same thing. One is just called step ups, and the other is called a leg press. The way she does it is she's stepping up and tapping down, stepping up and tapping down. When some people hear the word leg press, they're like, oh gosh. And so, calling it a step up, it seems to be easier for some people to wrap their mind around that. Oh, you're stepping up onto something, as opposed to leg press. Well, what's that? Pressing your leg against something? What? I don't understand. So, it's a mental perception, perhaps, for some people. Release push-ups. Let me check the time. We're good. Release push-ups. Now I can show you on the step, and I can also show you on the tower. I'll show you on the step first. You can either do it this way on the step or on the knees. If you cannot get down onto the knees, then I would suggest doing it on the fit tower if you have one. Because the way that I do it is I don't release my hands. I hold the push-up in an isolation to work the chest a bit more in a different way, so that when they are releasing and then coming back up, I don't have to bring my hands back down, get into position, and then push. I'm already in that position and I just have to push. Then I may never be able to do the released push-ups, and I know it's to help gain the strength to be able to do the push-ups on your toes easier. I understand that. She explained it in the video. I've got it. But for those that can't do the release push-ups but would like to be able to try to do some version of it, this is what I do. And so when she goes down, and I hold it, 2, 3, and then up. I don't hold her for 5 minutes. She doesn't even stay down there for that long. And so if you can, getting up onto the toe and doing it that way, great. If not, fit tower coming at you. And so, hands wide. I'm not going to do a release push-up on this. but I am going to hold it in position, at least at the halfway mark. Now I'm spiking my butt up ever so slightly to prevent any issues in my low back, because a lot of people tend to do this when they do a push-up because they don't know how to hold themselves upright. They do this and they're like, oh yeah, this is easy, and then you have to spike their butt up, they're like, man, this is hard. Yeah, if it were easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would do it if it was easy. Okay. Now. Okay, one arm back fly. So the one arm back fly, I've shown it on other videos, but I'll show it again. 1 foot on a step. It doesn't have to be this high. It can be a 4, 6, 8, 10, whatever. The same foot, leg that is on the step, that arm braces, and then you do a fly, or you do your one arm row. Either way. Rear delt fly, same thing. And it doesn't matter if you have both arms working for 1 foot on the step, and if you don't want to use a step, you bend one knee and then you hinge from the hip and do this. But those that have delicate backs like myself, I need to use a step, hinge from the hip, don't collapse like this. Yeah, I'm doing it, this is great, yeah, I can really feel it. You feel nothing, you're just flapping your arms. Take off in flight. Hinge from the hips. Keep that core tight. And that's how you do it. And that helps to take the pressure off the low back. Rear sliding lunges. Ordinarily, a gliding tool, slider, or rag or whatever would be used. I don't use either because I am on carpet. Now I could use the sliders, what I have here, but my balance is not the greatest. So this is how I do my rear sliding lunges. I'll move this out of the way just in case. Rear sliding lunges. It feels similar to the warrior lunges, but you're going to remain upright as opposed to pivoting. Front leg is going to go back. The rear lunge. Notice I did that in stages. If you cannot go down that far on the front knee, don't worry about it. Just go as far down as you can. Okay? Or, if you need some assistance, get a chair or a tower out and use it as the assistance to get you up and down. Side sliding lunges. Same concept applies, only instead of going to the rear, you're going to the side. So, this way and here. Now, there are times when I will have the fit tower here to assist. And so, have here. But it may be a little difficult because you're going to have a tendency to want to pitch forward, which you will. But you want to have it off to the side so that you're not cracking your head on it when you go to hinge forward. So have your body to, so if this leg is going to be sliding to the right, have the tower to the right. Same side that the leg is sliding. Sit back like you're going to sit in a chair, but take that leg out, 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 slide it back in, out, out, out. Notice this weight is in the heel. Yep, and that's what you do. That's what I do. Cross back, slide lunges. I'm going to keep this tower here, but there. And I'm going to move this step out of the way. All right. Cross back. So, if you're working on the balance and you don't have any weight, great. If not, That's okay too. Tapping the toe, and so the toe that's tapped would have the disc under it, or the gliding tool, going back, and then crossing back. If you use the fit tower, do it this way. If not, just do cross-back lunges. That's it. Making sure your weight is in your heel on a standing leg. 3 exercises to go. One of them you've seen before, and the other 2 you have not, meaning I haven't demonstrated them before. The warrior lunges. I think I had shown this on the low impact modification, but I'll show it again. Warrior lunges. Pivot forward from the hips as the glider foot goes out. Pushing into the front heel to bring the body up. Now you can do it with the hands like this, or if you're just feeling uncoordinated, hands on the hips, and do it this way. Sometimes I put the hands in front and then bring it in front like this, just to get the arms involved. Just getting the arms involved. Now if you're still feeling like, well, this is way too much off balance, use the fit tower, like what I showed you on the rear sliding lunges. The same concept would apply. You have one hand on the tower, and then the other hand could go out in front like that as you're doing that motion. So you could do that as well. Sweeper lunges. So the sweeper lunges, I'm thinking that it was like this, but I do it in a slower succession. If this is not what she did on the sweeper lunges, let me know, and then I'll look it up again and do an additional modification for it. I have no problem with correcting myself. I'm an imperfect person. Side slide pickups. Okay. So I tend to use a step, side slide pickups. Doesn't matter if it's a weight, a Dixie cup, whatever. And so I'm going to show you in a side view the side slide pickups. I think she showed this in the STS series as well. Slider foot, weight and the slider foot are on the same side. Slide the foot out to the side. This leg has the weight. Come up, down, pick up the weight. Notice I put a 14-inch step here. For those that can't bend down as far, this is what you do. That's how you do it. And if you're able to get further and further down, you can lower the step height to the 8 inches and then just use a 6-inch and then 4-inch and then to the floor. And then you can increase the weight if necessary. It's fine. Alright, that is it for the Strong and Sweaty series. I have enjoyed showing you the modifications today, at least for this series. If you enjoy it, thumbs up. If you don't, I'm not too worried about it. If you like it, let me know. If you don't, you can let me know too. It's okay. Put in the comments if you want what exercises that you'd like to see next. If I don't already have a video out for them, I'll either try to get a video out for it, or if I do have a video out for it, go ahead and take a look at that video. The next series I think I'm going to be attempting to record is for the Fit Tower Advanced. Now that probably isn't going to be a super long video because it uses the tower and there's a lot of exercises that you could use modifications on, but it's not always necessary. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye.